text message.
You awake yet? Your country needs you.
My country needs me? Who the heck texts the crack of dawn? Hello?
Lou? It's Gordy.
Hey, what are you doing? You can hear me?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, I got you my headphones.
Cool. Things good? Catch you at a bad time?
No, doing great, you know? Squeaking by, living the dream. It's awesome. Working for the morning TV weather show up on the top. You?
I only got a quick minute here. I'm working in the White House now.
Excuse me? Did you just say the White House? Ambitious.
Well, turns out the world's doomed, dude. It's a major pain in the butt.
Is it really? It's hard to see that from here. Whew. World's perfect.
Yeah, in the recreationalistic, nonconformist universe you live in out there. But for me, being the second smartest lunatic at school, I felt obligated to try and make a difference.
Wow. So you're in the thick of it right now, huh? Nice.
Well, except now everything's deeply screwed. People aren't investing. People aren't working. The other day, the president described the situation as constipated. He used that word. And so I thought of you.
Right. You called me your creative laxative back at school. Funny. I always love that.
My creative laxative. Our banter did shake loose some incredible crap, right? The purpose of life, shape of space. You solved everything. Think a goofy gravity guru like you could use your balance, detached imagination to fix unemployment and the debt?
Debt sucks. Bills for this new service and that. I'm not buying health insurance, and I don't think anyone should. I think doctors should carry the insurance to cover the costs if a patient can't pay for what they need as they go, even on an easy layaway plan, like $20 a month.
Clues. Interesting angle, but that ship has sailed for now.
Offer public colleges, tax the churches, or end the Federal Reserve?
Yeah, no, we can't get those through. Think about rewarding everyone without it costing us anything. Focus on jobs, just the domestic economy.
Oh, the economy and shit. I hate paying attention to that crap.
Well, because it's a futile exercise, right? I get it. A waste of time you never bothered with, because even if you thought of a solution, nothing could be done. But something might be now. I have the ear of the flippin' president of the United States.
Wow, that's crazy, man. What if jobs are becoming obsolete now? With internet stores and advances in automation these days.
Could be.
A chip in my ski pass gets scanned when I get on the lift now.
But will you research things? Use your removed, unconventional perspective to analyze the financial system with a focus on jobs.
Just one thing, though, right? You're not going to start dragging me into your everyday minutia. I work really hard at avoiding that stuff. Distracting myself out here in the real world. I'm happy.
Now, just this one thing, man. Jobs. Make me look good, will you?
All right, brother. Hello, is this Conspiracy Carl?
Yes.
How can I be sure it's really you?
Oh, you annoying son of a
How you doing, buddy?
Fighting the good fight. You occupying?
Am I occupying? Yeah, chairlifts. So tell me, what's the beef, man? What all you guys after?
Just the basic right to subsistence. Have you seen that zeitgeist movement?
No. Is it online? Can you send me a link or something? You got my email?
Somewhere around here.
This is Aspen Public Radio News, Mexico City.
They give out leaflets to the public where they say that they want to see the money market system replaced by a resource-based economy.
Hey, Tea Party Ted, please. Hey, buddy, it's Pluto. How you been? Great. Listen, you know how I always tell you to just shut up when you're talking about all your politics and Tea Party stuff? Well, do me a favor and tell me all about it. Don't hate the players, blame the game.
Rich people contribute a lot to this country. They pay a disproportionate amount for all sorts of things that help poor people, whether it's food or whether it's medicine or whether it's helping send other kids to college. The rich do a lot of good.
Capitalism. them. Wow!
Just what do you think you're doing here?
Putting money in my piggy bank.
Crippling our nation by stagnating the economy and throwing us into another recession is more like it.
We're told, but it can all be made right if we just go shopping. 99% of the stuff we harvest, mine, process, transport, 99% of the stuff we run through the system is trashed within 6 months.
Planned obsolescence.
It wasn't always like this. The average U.S. person now consumes twice as much as they did 50 years ago. Ask your grandma. In her day, stewardship and resourcefulness and thrift were valued. So we're in this ridiculous situation where we go to work, maybe 2 jobs even, and we gotta go to them all to buy something to feel better, and then you gotta go to work more to pay for the stuff you just bought, so you come home and you're more tired, so you sit down and you watch more TV until you go to the mall again, and we're on this crazy work-watch-thing treadmill.
Working jobs we hate, so we can buy shit we don't need.
Economic slavery requires people to feed and house themselves.
We're a group of 12 and 13-year-olds trying to make a difference. You don't know how to bring back an animal now extinct. You don't know how to fix the holes in our ozone layer, and you can't bring back the forest that once grew where there is now a desert. If you don't know how to fix it, please stop breaking it. Did you have to worry of these things when you were my age?
You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table and figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime. Oh, it's a big club, and you ain't in it.
It is one of the most ingenious scams for social manipulation ever created. Debt is the weapon used to conquer and enslave societies, and interest is its prime ammunition. And as the majority walks around oblivious to this reality, the banks, in collusion with governments and corporations,
but we do have what I consider to be the equivalent
expand.
of the emperor, and it's what I call the corporatocracy. World. Corporatocracy is this group of elitists who run our biggest corporations, and they really act as the emperor.
We're all chiseling off each
human
other.
beings.
And you can't expect these
Truly ethical or decent.
If I were ethical, it wouldn't work. Your system is not designed to serve the well-being of people. Industry does not care. They only hire people because it hasn't been automated yet. So don't talk about decency and ethics. We cannot afford it.
Whether it is dumping toxic waste, having a monopoly enterprise, or downsizing the workforce, the motive is the same: profit, which always puts the well-being of people second to monetary gain.
Is that it's not just the poor who are affected by inequality. And there you see it. The more unequal countries doing worse on all these kinds of social problems. It's an extraordinary close correlation. But if you look at that same index of health and social problems in relation to GNP per capita, gross national income, there's nothing there.
It's a linear system, and we live on a finite planet, and you cannot run a linear system on a finite planet indefinitely.
Does anyone have any answers?
What we want to do is to eliminate the causes of the problems, eliminate the processes that produce greed and people taking advantage of one another.
If you eradicate the conditions that generate what you call socially offensive behavior, it does not exist. The guy said, well, isn't that inborn? No, it's not.
We cannot be stopped because we are not restricted by your rules. We cannot be beaten because we are not playing your game. We are the first stage of the new human evolution, born out of the collective human consciousness.
Yeah, but how do you ever get there?
I gotta get to sleep. No, I gotta go to sleep. I'm sleeping.
But how do you bail out a planet? The world is going bankrupt because of this idea called debt, which doesn't even exist in the physical reality. It's only part of a game that we've invented. And yet, the well-being of billions of people is now being compromised. Extreme layoffs, tent cities, accelerating poverty, austerity measures imposed, schools shutting down, child hunger, all because of this elaborate fiction. What are we, f***ing stupid?
Parents should be able to comfort their children by saying, everything's going to be all right. It's not the end of the world, and we're doing the best we can. But I don't think you can say that to us anymore. What you do makes me cry at night. You grown-ups say you love us, but I challenge you, please, make your actions reflect your words. Thank you.
City in America, and the reason is even more distinctive. It's not the decline in manufacturing, it's not the housing crisis, it is the way the city
of having such a selfish mechanism as the guiding mentality
laws for
in
public
society.
officials.
Call me as soon as you got a few minutes. It's a matter of national prosperity.
Hello?
Hey, man, it's Gordo.
Hey, there you are.
All right, tell me you got something fresh and brilliant I can use.
I'm telling you, this is it. I don't know if the world's ready for it, but this is the answer.
Okay, recording this. So you already untangled everything?
Well, that was brutal, but yes. Hey, can I, remain anonymous and you take the credit?
All right, sure. What's your premise?
The problem with the whole game is it's set up to reward destructive behavior. Well, I came up with a minor rule change that'll fundamentally alter what we're here to do. It liberates us to be cooler, to chase our purpose, and not just money.
No, this sounds impassable already. Normal people dig that whole American dream thing, man. Does this have anything to do with creating jobs?
This gives a real reason to create jobs and spend like crazy. You'll raise enough revenues from the first blizzard of transactions, you'll cover the debt in no time. You'll also encourage us to be kinder creatures. Mankinder.
Please, Pluto. To get anything through this dysfunctional gridlock we're stuck in, Tea Partiers to occupiers all gotta back this. Everyone alive, basically. In this climate, who's not gonna mind shouldering that massive first investment push we need?
The dead. We let the dead people pay the bills we all agree our grandkids shouldn't have to.
A death tax?
Oh, hell no. An inheritance cap. Tax-free. You can leave tax-free money to as many people or charities as you want, but you can only leave, say, up to $5 million for each individual after you die.
To spread it around? So more people spend and stoke commerce?
And so people don't feel the need to over-collect anymore.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
You still can accumulate unlimited wealth and disperse it wherever you want when you're alive, okay? But when you die, you can only leave $5 million to each person. To as many different people as you have money for, all right? All tax-free. Living relatives or total strangers out of the phone book if you want. Just no unborn descendants.
Where are you getting that figure? Your mom and dad were somewhere around $5 million, I'm guessing?
I wish. No, I don't know about the numbers. Maybe it's 1 million, 10 million. For qualifying charities, maybe it's like a $5 billion cap. Whatever math your team thinks works. But in general, the idea is a firm cap on what you can leave individuals, to put a lid on it. The only exception being, if you've created a certain number of good-paying jobs, you get a credit to double the cap to one person.
Okay, so incentives tied to job production spurs them to invest. Fine. But what happens if someone dies sitting on a buttload of assets that are unallocated? Say they don't know, love, or want to help anyone.
If you didn't spend it enough when you were alive, and you run out of deserving heirs, excess leftovers go directly to pay down the debt.
Oh, okay.
Until there's a surplus, and China's asking us for a loan. And then everyone can vote on whether to keep the inheritance cap or not.
You think old people are sitting on that much money that this would pay the national debt?
Gordy, it's not with the undesignated inheritance that we pay the debt. It's how money gets spent now to get around the cap. to bequeath money to their favorite people. People start gifting their mansions, Learjets, private islands, whatever, bags of money. And we charge a reasonable gift tax on all those transfers at an appreciably lower rate than the current inheritance cap would be, right? So they get a deal. The transfer of wealth starts to become more of a supervised process. And generations can enjoy it together. It's a whole new mindset.
Uh-huh. Well, change is a tough sell when you're telling people what they can and can't do with their life's work. Why would oil barons and central banking cartels agree to this?
Explain it to them. They were giving them more control of their money and taking less tax from everyone alive. It's so easy to use loopholes to avoid it. It's almost just symbolic, really. But by putting it out there, people will at least evaluate our intent and be forced to reconsider what they leave.
Well, you might convince the Warren Buffett and Bill Gates types, but how are we going to convince Paris Hilton?
Oh, man. If you can't make it with a $5 million head start, maybe you weren't cut out to make it. If Paris feels entitled to more, she can ask her folks to use job creation credits to give her a more generous leg up. Since Mr. Hilton employs so many people, he meets incentives that allow him to leave all kinds of extra for Paris, so there you go. If people just take a moment to evaluate how this can work better for them, they'll want to back it. Hang on a second. I have to navigate a sketchy pitch. The snowpack is so thin this year.
So, we still let them be selfish hoarders and give them tax breaks?
Yes, but this makes trickle down more than a theory. We rig it to work automatically. The elite and powerful are altruistic or not. This makes sure it happens right away.
Well, say I was rich, but didn't create hundreds of jobs, and still felt compelled to leave massive wealth to my descendants. What do I do?
Buy a crayon drawing from your grandkid for $1 million. Hire your kids, take them helicopter skiing, call them guides, and pay them $1 billion a day. Sure, they pay income tax on it, but they could buy stuff, write it off as business expenses, so you feed the economy one way or another, while still stashing away enough for your kids before you die. If you only want to set up 3 people in a will, plan to croak sitting on about $15 million in assets, right? That's the new goal in life.
You've got to use it or lose it.
I'd hope it'd encourage folks to leave some of their leftovers to their fellow countrymen in times like these, but either way, the system will thrive wildly again.
Most folks are proud to pitch in for their country, but what they don't want is for you to decide that for them. We've phased this in over time so they can make arrangements.
Sure, it wouldn't kick in for a year or two, but the effects would be immediate. Accountants get busy reworking stuff. Kids get their folks' money now, and the race is on to spend, invest in new sustainable companies, creating waves of new jobs, stoking oceans of consumers with paychecks to spend.
Listen, I have to go. I'll call you in a couple of days. It's interesting. Keep thinking about what could go wrong, who's going to gripe, and what we can tell them, all right?
All right, thanks. I'll talk to you soon.
The lifeblood of all of our established institutions, and thus society itself, is money. The true mechanism that guides the interests of all the countries on the planet.
And decided to give her a call just to see if she had any great ideas, made any sense at all. So I pick up the phone and what did I hear about?
Hello?
Hey, Pluto, it's Gordon.
What's going on? What up, brother, man?
All right, Pluto. I found out over the next 50 years, we're expecting over $41 trillion in inherited wealth to be transferred, mostly to the already affluent, though.
Sounds promising, right? Hang on, can you hear me? Hold on, I'm almost to the top.
Are you skiing, you dog?
Carve and snowboard. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, turns out, estate planners are used to reworking arrangements all the time. Inheritance rules have changed 19 times in the past 35 years.
Really?
But today's laws already let you give away your first $5 million tax-free. Then after that, people are taxed between 35 and 55%.
No, that sucks. It's gotta be a firm limit. If you take a slice, you just motivate the need to gather more to keep more, you see? You'll keep making over-collecting absolutely more imperative if you take a percentage. A hard cap has a deep psychological effect, making over-earning a waste of time. That's critical. The point is to change the point.
Seems pointless with such huge loopholes.
You need the loopholes. You gotta let them be corrupt, gouge customers, shortchange workers, clear-cut 2,000-year-old forests for outrageous profit if they want, but this would take away some of the drive that might entice them to want to chop down more than they need. This pulls the carpet out from under every evil plan I can think of. It makes winning fun only if you like giving and being generous. After a certain point, you're just earning to give it away, so you better feel good about the service you provide or who you're doing it for, right? People's legacies become what cool, helpful things they were able to set in motion for others. Hello? Hello?
Hello? Hey, man, what the heck happened? Did you hit a moose and land on your phone? I lost you right when it was getting good.
I was carving it up, and it totally busted my front binding on my carving board.
Your front foot was off? Well, reconsidering your stance on health insurance now?
Crack me up.
Yeah, it's because you're still riding that junky 15-year-old equipment, aren't you?
Till something can't be fixed. Works for me. I've got everything I need. And exactly what I want.
You still the poorest guy in the most expensive resort place to live on the planet? So funny how you work that, man. Remember that old nasty van you used to drive?
All right now, fancy pants. Can we get back to the point? You asked me to do this, so I bother solving everything, and now I feel like I gotta sell you on it.
Well, we'd have to sell it.
What do you need, a slogan? Pass it on when you pass on. How's that?
Sounds more like, if you don't spend it, we will. People are reluctant to change.
Even when it serves them and helps their race to thrive? Smart, rich folks who want their grandkids to have a better life, they must be able to see that back, and this is a great way to leave them a better world. So how did they ever start that salary cap system in pro football? If prima donna NFL quarterbacks agreed to that a few years back so the league could be competitive and remain profitable, then surely...
People are fiercely loyal to their families and possessive of what they're due. Kids are going to gripe about sharing their family's fortunes with a pool boy.
So they'll act more worthy than dad's nurse. It makes humans try and be better people to each other. Hell, you may not like all your future descendants anyway, right? We all have weirdos in our family we don't necessarily want to give unlimited power to just because they share our name. Let our grandsons decide how our future great-grandsons are compensated by knowing them personally and judging what they deserve. Isn't that reasonable?
I don't know. It's different.
Fine. Then just hit up the debt crisis panic to pitch it. Show them the math on that. What'd you say, 40 trillion in 50 years? If folks pre-gift even half of that to get it where they want before they ski off a cliff, at what rate, 20% gift taxes, say? Well, that's 4 trillion you'd take in the next couple years alone, not counting all the stimulus benefits from every imaginable angle.
Well, that would be a decent start, but most of these guys' assets are tied up in corporations. Are you suggesting if Mr. Walmart chokes on a pretzel that we have to sell off his empire and distribute his estate in $5 million chunks?
Everyone already has to settle up with the world before they check out, right? He'd have arrangements for a good team of investors to buy it, or he'd start promoting more workers into middle management roles with employee co-ownership or something. How do they do it now?
Leaving solid leadership in place is how good leaders are judged, and it's not done by committee.
I can't go on forever, and I don't really want to try. So who can I trust to run the factory when I leave and take care of the Oompa Loompas for me? Not a grown-up. A grown-up would want to do everything his own way, not mine.
You got to be able to set up foundations and organizations that can roll on their own.
Okay, I'm not really sure. Work all that stuff out. Probably need some international restrictions, too. Giving local groups of investors a competitive advantage over single foreigners who aren't yet bound by caps.
Now we got to force this on the whole world, because we don't want our local treasures bought up by foreign interests outbidding us with unrestricted offshore wealth.
Sure, so restrict them. Push the G20 for worldwide adoption with whatever trade incentives it'd take, but meanwhile, add some sensible protections and jam it past Congress with some Emergency Jobs Order Act. Call it something patriotic, like the home of the free decree.
Well, we pretty much have to. Nothing's easy. The simple cap's getting complicated.
But it's so worth doing. Now you're remembered for your contributions that had merit. Ideas that people are grateful for. The reward is appreciation and self-respect. We'll like ourselves more.
Well, working around your starting point, folks will be forced to at least reconsider their legacy. Once they got their people taken care of, maybe they'd pursue something else. Not for conquering profits, but for creating what they've always dreamed of.
Maybe you pay your employees more to keep them dedicated and happy.
Wait, conscientious capitalism? Reaping reasonable profits over maximum profits? That's never going to happen with stockholders' expectations.
With a mental ceiling on financial aspirations, maybe stockholders would tolerate just decent returns from stable, ethically directed companies with a devoted workforce of happy people. People's morals evolve. Today, they sort trash to recycle. Tomorrow, recycling good fortunes and investing in your species may be valued.
Enough becomes enough. Problem is, the only people this would annoy are the ones in power. The secret societies with multi-generational evil plans for a new world order.
Some extreme occupiers might rather the whole system fail than to tweak it so it works again. But these are reasonable, gradual stepping stones that bridge us to where everything's fair, slowly mixing in powerful corporate royalty with the rest of us over the next few generations. This transitions us forward without being totally unfair to those who have taken to and done well in today's system.
Well, it does give protesters something to ask for, a specific demand they can force. All right, your idealistic utopias sound almost imaginable. I gotta run, but I'll see what I can do.
All right, do it, man. Keep me posted, brother.
There's a monkey who gets cucumber. The one on the right is the one who gets grapes. And she gets a grape. And the other one sees that. She gives a rock to us now, gets again cucumber. So this is basically the Wall Street protest that you see here.
An illusion of choice. Americans are meant to feel free by the exercise of meaningless choices. You don't have, you know what the choices are in this country? Paper or plastic? A file or window? Smoking or non-smoking? Those are your real choices. There used to be 7 oil companies. There are now 3. It will soon be 2. The things that matter in this country have been reduced in choice. There are 2 political parties. There are a handful of insurance companies. There are about 6 or 7 information things. But if you want a bagel, there are 23 flavors because you have the illusion. You have the illusion of choice.
It means if there's something wrong, those who have the ability to take action have the responsibility to take action.
Oh, my back. Hello?
Professor Pluto, please.
Hey, buddy. Hey.
Hey, just got a sec. I want to let you know, we've got something drafted we're going to push for.
Oh, wow.
So watch the news and root for us. We're going to raise the debate on the inheritance cap.
That's awesome. Make it as public as you can. Do it. Give everyone the answer.
Well, we're trying to plant a little seed that matters.
Oh, that's great news. Thanks for making an old man feel worthwhile. All right, get the word out there. Then regular folks may choose to adopt it on their own, despite what Congress does or doesn't do.
You came through with an angle everyone was missing.
Any way we could vote on it?
You ever hear of representative government? But hey, I gotta go.
Representatives made sense when we'd send a guy on horseback to Washington. Hell, if we can have secure online banking and vote for our favorite American Idol, can't we get rid of Congress and just... Hello? You hung up on me?
So we conclude that it doesn't much matter how you get your greater equality as long as you get there somehow. I'm not talking about perfect equality, I'm talking about what exists in rich, developed market democracies.
It's going to take the redesign of our culture, our values.
It's already happening. Now, some say it's unrealistic, idealistic that it can't happen, but I say the ones who are unrealistic are those that want to continue with the old path. That's dreaming. Remember, that old way didn't just happen. It's not like gravity that we've just got to live with. People created it, and we're people too. So let's create something new.
You are deciding what kind of world you're growing up in.
struggles, man?
Good, man. What are you doing?
Oh, just checking the river. I want to go riverboarding, but there's not enough snow, not enough spring runoff to make it go. Guess I'll go drop in the skate park for a couple laps.
How old do you think you are? Jeez, man. Hey, you been watching the news?
No, I can't watch that. The stuff you and my kids made me watch still gives me nightmares.
Harsh. Might have been worth it, though. Dude, we passed it.
What?
We got it passed.
Really? You're kidding me, right?
No, man, we did it.
Yeah! Nice! Oh!
We had to make a few compromises with the hoarders hiding behind the large companies, but they employ like a gazillion people, so as a whole...
Man, you totally just brought down the whole house of credit cards.
Wasn't that much fuss either. It's not that different. Once folks took a moment to look at it, they saw loopholes they wanted to dive through and bought into it as a self-serving no-brainer.
You did it. You're a full-on save-the-world kind of hero. I'm telling you, this is like the shot Luke Skywalker put on the Death Star.
Wait now, with lower gift taxes and income taxes we had to bend on, it may ignite the economy, but not sure it'll cover the debt like you expect. Don't get your hopes up too high, and it doesn't even kick in for another 2 years.
It'll spark everything tomorrow. As kids get wealth now, Grandpa buys himself a lobster dinner every night. Just watch. Hang on. Invest everything you've got. It's about to go off.
I am feeling pretty good about it, I must say. And so should you.
Oh, man. This goes global? All our troubles are over. Making it worldwide and permanent, it would cure everything.
Well, short of religious territory wars, crimes against women, and overdue library books, don't fool yourself, pal.
No, you're right. This doesn't fix everything.
Well, we've got trade measures, incentives, and regulations to encourage worldwide adoption. But it'll take our economy booming to convince them more than anything else.
Oh, buddy, it will. The whole world's gonna see how foolish it would be not to have an inheritance cap for the good of their people. Yeah, mark my words.
Well, let's hope so. I gotta go, brother. Love you, man. Good work.
Love you too, brother. The shift is on. Victory! Gotcha! Yeah. I can't believe it. Oh, we did it. Oh, we did it.
I hope we're interfered with again by the extraterrestrials, and this time they help, because then all those dreams that I don't quite have for us could come true, and that would be the best thing, best surprise I could get.
Build my home, stretch my legs, for I can't have things my own way.
Hello?
Pluto. Hey, it's Gordon. What's going on?
Hi, what's going on, buddy?
Well, hey, congrats on yet another Super Bowl.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, another Super Bowl. Dynasty, right?
So remember how there was a stipulation on your thing that we'd vote on keeping it or not once the debt was settled up? Well, we're there. It's been amazing.
Really? God, I thought it would take a lot longer than this.
Yeah, but the blind idiots who are in charge now are pushing to repeal it. So it's time to argue the case again. You still doing video? You should turn the camera on yourself. Star in something. Vent on the internet. Get it to go viral. Make a film. Help our cause.
Well, I may have to now that you made me care. But I don't know that I could act in it. Who's going to take me seriously? Seriously.
Hire an actor.
For what I could afford to make, what do I have to show that's watchable?
Well, it doesn't have to be a masterpiece. Just, state the case. However, man, I'll try and get you some funding. I haven't been working in D.C. for a while, but I'm ramping up to get back in there.
Really? Why? You glutton?
Look, you really need to find some way to contribute your gift. That simple thing you came up with, we turned a corner. You show off. Now, since it went global, dictators are feeding their peasants Drug czars are retiring, playing golf.
So things got better, huh?
Stuff's really been different.
Is it really? Hard to see that from here.
Well, it was because of you, dude.
Doesn't matter who gets the credit.
But I'm the only one that knows it.
If you say so.
Well, anyway, I kind of need you again.
Oh, shit.
Mostly because of the repeal on the docket. And I wanted you to hear it from me personally. I'm running for office.
Oh, no. What office?
What office? The office.
Excuse me, what office?
I may need you to consult and advise some on the campaign. I'm putting you on speed dial if that's okay. We can do more, too. Middle East, overpopulation, sustainability. Pluto, are you there?
What's the view just around the bend? What's on down the road?